Hi everybody, this is Corey, and today we're going to be playing a 15-10-minute game. That's 15 minutes and a 10-second increment. So I made a couple of improvements to my interface here. I hope you guys like it. Now I'm just waiting for somebody to accept the seek, and we'll get to playing. And as you can see, we have a game here against XonKiZ, and we're going to be playing a Caro-Kann. And that's with c6. Okay, he's bringing out his queen super early, so I am going to attack it with my knight. Yeah, he's just wasting his tempo here. And now I will play. That's an interesting move. I'm thinking of playing d5, but then he has this move e5, but I don't think it'll matter too much. It might be overextended. Because then I do have moves like, I don't know, bishop g4, which seem pretty good. So I think d5 here is the way to go. Let's see what he does. He takes, okay, makes life a lot easier for me. I could recapture right now, but I'm also thinking of playing the immediate bishop g4, which puts pressure on the queen and develops my bishop with the tempo. And that seems to be a great idea. So let's do it. So now the queen will move, and then I'll recapture. And now my bishop is in the game, and life is good. My pieces are out. His only piece that's out, well, he just moved this bishop, but before that, it was only his queen compared to my knight and bishop. And for white, you have the advantage. You want to keep the advantage rolling. Okay, but now you give me a check, but now I'll gladly take. I gotta take my time with this, though, because I do have plenty of time to think. What I should do now, well, obviously my bishop is under attack, so I could move it. Ideally, I would want my bishop on f5, but since the queen is guarding that square, it's not so possible right now. So I might try for bishop h5 to g6, which is pretty good. So let's do it. He may try for he may try for that, but at the same time, maybe eventually I could get my queen involved on this diagonal. So I'm going to play bishop g6. It's really the only move, and then he may even push again with g5. But in a time control like this game, it's a bit too aggressive. And now, okay, obviously I'm putting pressure on this guy, which he does protect, and at the same time he's attacking my c6 pawn, which I will defend by playing, I guess queen c7 looks okay. Queen c7 is fine. Okay, he plays that move, d3, opening up lines for his bishop, maybe wanting to come here to attack the queen. I might even play. I was considering to play e5, but then he can play, I don't know, moves like knight e2, and I don't know how comfortable I am with playing e5. But it's probably the best move to get some space. So that might be what I'm going to do. Let's play it. Can't be afraid. Yes, he plays knight e2 like I expected him to. Now I'll play a move like bishop d6. And what's he going to do? Is he going to play knight c3? Is he going to move his bishop somewhere? He moves his bishop somewhere. Okay. Let's play a move. Alright, let's castle. It's time to castle. Protect that king. So far, our pieces are pretty developed. Our rooks just got connected. So that's a good sign that opening is pretty much complete. And now we're entering the middle game. He's probably going to play his knight to c3. And then what I might do is try to take advantage of this semi-open file. I'll put my rooks there, and it should be okay for me. I'll start by playing the move. I'm figuring out which rook to put on b8. This rook right now is serving as a kind of added protection for this pawn, so I may swing the other rook, and that is what I'll do. Obviously, yes, it's hitting this pawn, but I don't doubt that he'll see it. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt that he won't see it, which means he will see it. He did. Here I have a nice move. I mean, it's not. I was thinking of playing like a silly move like rook b4, hitting the queen, but then queen will play to a6. But then I could try to bring my other rook into the game. It may be worth a shot, because take a look. I'll play rook b4 right now. The queen squares are pretty limited now. If you go back to a3, I will gladly take this pawn, and then there's a discovery on the queen, if that makes sense. Whoops. I think I could just click to remove the arrows. There we go. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Gotta have some activity, you know. Yeah, I expect him to play queen a6, and now I'll swing my other rook over and threaten rook to there. Although you will have queen a5, which kind of gets rid of it, but, you know, really. Aha. I will gladly accept that, because at the end of this line, I'll have a fork. So right now what he's thinking is, if I simply take with the pawn, he can take my rook. And okay, yes, I can take back. That's 2 pieces for a pawn. But I have a nice little tactic that I just found. So if knight takes, I'm assuming bishop takes, I'll take the bishop, and now I'm hitting the queen, and I'm threatening a fork, and there's no way for you to protect both. So that's what I'll do. Okay, I'm gonna follow through. I'll do that, and now I'm attacking this queen, and there's no way to defend against this fork, hitting the king and the rook, and I will be just fine here. Oh, yeah, I didn't really consider him playing a queen there. That defends pretty much everything. Okay, I'll have to carry on then. Yeah, okay, my analysis was a bit off there, but I should still be fine. I may make a move like rook b5 and try to squeeze him a little bit. Alright, let's try this. This looks good for me. Like, okay, technically I'm down on material, but well, no, we're equal on material, because my 2 bishops, they're worth 3 each. A rook is worth 5, plus a pawn is 6. But my pieces are much more active, and I have the bishop pair, which gives me the advantage. Even though this fork didn't work, I had the right idea to develop with tempo. But what could you play? Maybe he could play d4, trying to stop rook to c5. Although if I do play rook to c5, he'll take my knight, so I'll have to wait a little bit before I do that. So yeah, let's just see what he does. So far, this game is it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun indeed. Okay, I kind of knew he would do that. I have an idea. If I take it, if he takes back with the queen, I'll play bishop here, which will pin the queen to the rook, which is fantastic for me. But so he'll take with the knight if I take the pawn, and then I may still play bishop e5 to put pressure. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks okay for me. Oh yeah, if he takes with the queen, I have a fork. Pretty nasty fork, winning the queen right away. I don't have to do the spin. So yeah, he's gonna... Ooh, he didn't see it. He didn't see it. And now this is a family fork where I'm, you know, forking all these guys, and I expect him to resign. Okay, no resign. I'll just take your queen. Knight takes. I'll just pin the knight to the king, and simply win this piece, no problem. Let's play rook here, and we'll pick up this knight, and we should go on to win the game easily. Let's take with the rook. I gotta watch for back rank stuff. Yeah, my bishop is guarding the square, but it's just something to be wary of. So let's try to win. That would be a good idea. Let's give him a check. Monkey C check, monkey do check. Okay. I'm gonna try to do something. Well, before I do anything, let's just give myself an escape square to not overcomplicate things. I don't want to give him any chances. Any chances at all. He's offering to trade rooks, but I kind of don't want to. If we're going to trade, it's going to be on my terms, not his. So I'll put my queen here, and I would much rather have my queen on d2 than on... Okay, that works. This is actually good for me because now I have a tactic. I can take this pawn with check, rook takes, and now queen takes rook, and I'll be a pawn up, and that's how we're gonna roll. Unless if I have something cool, and I do have something cool. I have like a mate in I don't know how many. I'm not even gonna take this rook. I'm going for something interesting. I take here, and I'll give it check. And I'll give another check. Oh, maybe that wasn't so good. Now it allows him to get to the square. But I'm fine. I'm not worried or anything. Let's go... Actually, yeah, let's go back. Let's not make this more complicated than it needs to be. And now we have checkmate here. And that is that game. Let's do some analysis. So here we got into a Caro-Kann. He played this move right away, which was queen h5, which was really dumb. Instead, he should have, made a simple move like d4. getting into a Caro-Kann, but I guess he, for some reason, didn't want to get into theory. So he just played a really bad move, which was queen h5. And you normally don't want to bring your queen out like this in the opening, because I'm just going to develop and attack the queen with tempo. So that's exactly what I did. I played knight to f6, hitting the queen. The queen, moved away, but now he spent 2 moves just moving the queen, and it's not even on a good square, because this is a square the knight wants to be on. So I play d5 here. I was slightly concerned that he would make a move like this, but I wouldn't play this. If I had played this, he would have just simply moved the queen, and now I would have 2 pieces under attack. I'd have to move my knight away, and then he would get my bishop. So I wouldn't have done that. Had he played the move e5, maybe knight to g4 hitting this pawn, but it's not that good for me, actually. Let's figure this out. So after e5, what would I play? I honestly might have to play knight e4. And if he tries to attack my knight, I can move there, and now all of a sudden I'm moving my piece multiple times. So maybe in hindsight, d5 wasn't the best move, because it allows for e5. But anyway, he took. And instead of recapturing right away, I wanted to continue to develop with bishop to g4. And now I develop my piece, and now he has to move his queen. So it's like as if I get another move. So really, white took away his first move advantage, and it's as if he doesn't have one. He plays queen f4. And here I recapture the pawn. And now look how great it is for me. I have center control, a pawn in the center. My pieces are developed, and white only has 1 piece out. And so this is fantastic for me. He gives me a check, and I block it. And now he takes it. These series of moves were really bad. He has a nice bishop. You see how many squares it can go to? Yeah, my knight's good too, but why would you exchange a perfectly good bishop for a knight that didn't even develop yet? So yeah, that's what he played, and I took back with the pawn, and now he played that move, f3. As soon as he played f3, I saw this diagonal opening, and in, like, for example, fool's mate, when the pawn is here, if the queen is able to get there, it would be checkmate. But no, there wasn't a fast way for me to get over there, so I had to retreat the bishop right away. So I play bishop h5, g4. Now this diagonal is pretty scary for him if he doesn't do anything about that weakness. But here I have no choice but to move my bishop. Queen a4 was played, attacking the pawn and also defending c2. I played queen c7, guarding this pawn, getting my queen out, d3, and now I play e5. I think this move was pretty strong. At first I was a little scared of playing a move like e5 because I'm so used to, in these positions, playing a move like e6, which is totally fine here, but I mean, if white is going to give me the space, why not to take it, And there were no clear disadvantages of doing that. Like, this pawn isn't under attack in any way, and even if it were, I'd be able to defend with, like, bishop there, knight there. So there's always resources for me to defend. So now I have 2 pawns in the center. He has 0, and my pieces are all developed, and he only has his queen out. So this is a fantastic, fantastic position for me. Knight e2, continuing to develop the knight. And now I play bishop to d6, guarding the pawn and developing. In hindsight, maybe it would have been a good idea to play bishop to c5 instead, stopping him from castling, but my move is okay. He plays bishop to d2, and I castle. And now we're just developing, and here I'm trying to activate my rooks on this b file. He plays b3, and I play this move. It may have been too early for me to play this move. Perhaps I should have waited to first double up the rooks by means of rook b7 and then rook a to b8, because this doesn't do a whole lot, and it could potentially backfire if this knight moves out of the way, and now the bishop would attack my rook, similar to the game I showed yesterday. But queen a6, and now I bring my other rook into play with plans to play here, but the queen is safe after, again, queen a5. So, I mean, yes, it's hitting the queen, but I'm not expecting to trap the queen. I'm just expecting to build on this b file. He takes the pawn, which was a pretty good move. I should have seen it coming, and now my rook is hit by this bishop in a discovery. What I thought would work for me is if knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes. I didn't realize he had this queen c4 move. I thought he would have to simply, I don't know, make this move or any other move, and then I would take with a fork on the king and rook. But obviously, he had this move. But at the same time, it's two bishops for a rook, and my development is superior to his, so I still think I have an edge. I play rook b5 to get it involved. However, if he had played a4 right now, it would have been like he would have contested the rook. So if I were to move on this rank, it may eventually be trapped. I have to be very cautious. But he didn't play that. He played d4. I gladly take, and queen takes, which was the game-costing mistake because it allows this fork. So had he taken with the knight, I would have played a move like rook to... I have a few options. Rook to d5 comes out to me immediately because I'm threatening to capture with this fork threat. With this fork threat on the queen. And I'm also considering to play this check, which is rook e5. I'm not quite sure which is better. So that was that. But he didn't. He took back with the queen, which allows this fork, and I can just pretty much blast through the moves. He got stuck in a pin, couldn't do anything about it, and I basically checkmate him on the board. This queen thing was silly. I should have just taken here right away and made him. But there we go, and that's the game. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.